It is Sunday, and you are unpacking the grocery bags onto the counter, and you glance at the receipt before you crumple it. $160, maybe more. For one person or two. You feel that small tightness in your chest, the one that comes every week now, because the number keeps climbing, and your money does not. You put the food away, and here is the part no one talks about. By the end of the week, a good part of what you just bought will be soft or slimy or forgotten in the back of the drawer, and it will go into the trash. You paid $160, and you will throw a good piece of it away, and next Sunday, you will do it all again. Let me say it plainly. You are not spending too much because food costs too much. You are spending too much because a third of what you buy is quietly dying in your kitchen before you ever eat it. And there is an old Japanese habit that fixes this. Not a diet, not a coupon, not a trick. A simple daily habit that cut my own household's food bill nearly in half. Come with me into my kitchen. My wife Yuki does one small thing that most people never learned. She does not shop for a week of separate meals, throwing food into a cart and hoping to use it. She keeps what we call a standing pantry and a living kitchen, a few humble staples that never spoil, and a daily habit of using what is oldest first and letting nothing sit unwatched until it dies. Our food bill, plainly, is a fraction of what our neighbors pay, and we eat better than they do, and we throw almost nothing away, not because we have some secret food, because we have a habit. Let me show you what the missing habit costs. Study after study, and any honest look in your own trash can will tell you the same thing. An ordinary household throws away something close to a third of the food it buys. A third. If you spend $160 a week on food, that is roughly $50 a week going straight into the bin, uneaten. $50 a week is $200 a month. It is well over $2,000 a year, thrown away. Not spent on food you enjoyed, but on food you carried home, ignored, and discarded. That is the quiet theft, not the price at the register. The waste in your own kitchen that no one ever taught you to stop. My name is Kenji Takara. I am 81 years old, and I live in Okinawa, in the south of Japan. Yuki has kept her kitchen this way since she was a young woman, and she learned it as a girl from her mother, who learned it from hers, in years when wasting food was not simply careless. It was unthinkable, almost shameful, because food was dear and hard-won. In their kitchens, you knew what you had. You used the oldest thing first. You let nothing rot in a drawer forgotten. That way of keeping a kitchen is what I want to give you today, because it is the single thing that has saved us the most money across a long life, more than any recipe ever could. We have a word here for the sorrow of waste. Motainai. It is the quiet ache of letting something valuable go to nothing. A vegetable that softens and is thrown out. A piece of meat that graying at the back of the refrigerator. A bag of greens that turned to slime before anyone remembered it. Every one of those is money, grown by a farmer across a whole season, carried to your home, and then dropped in the trash. Motanai is the habit of refusing that waste, quietly, every single day. And that habit, more than anything else, is what cut our bill in half. There is no money, plainly, in teaching you to buy less and waste nothing. The store would rather you fill a large cart, let a third of it spoil, and come back next week to fill it again. That forgotten bag of greens in your drawer is not the store's loss. It is their profit, bought and paid for and thrown away, so you must buy it again. No one advertises the habit that would empty your cart and your trash both. So it sits quiet in old kitchens like mine, while most people pay for their food twice, once to eat and once to throw away. By the end of this video, you will know the whole of this quiet habit, the standing pantry that never spoils, the daily rule of using the oldest first, the simple way of seeing everything you own so nothing is forgotten, and how to turn what is about to die into tonight's meal. So let me give you the heart of it plainly, the one idea underneath the whole habit. Most people shop by imagining separate meals. This bag is Tuesday's dinner, that box is Thursday's, and when Tuesday's plan changes, Tuesday's food dies. The old way is the opposite. You keep a small foundation of things that never spoil, and then you cook from what you have, using whatever is oldest and closest to turning. First, you do not serve your food serves you. Understand that turn, and half your waste ends the moment you understand it. Now, why does this habit actually work? Why does it cut a bill so deeply, and not just a little? Let me explain it plainly, because the reason is real and simple. Food waste is not one big leak, it is 100 tiny ones. The half onion that dries out, the herbs that blacken, the leftovers pushed to the back and forgotten, the vegetable bought with good intentions and never touched. Each one is small, $1 here, $2 there, and because each is small, no one notices, and so it goes on every week for a lifetime. This habit works because it closes every one of those small leaks at once. When you keep a foundation of things that cannot spoil, you always have a meal, so you buy fewer perishable things on a hope. When you use the oldest first, nothing sits long enough to die. And when you can see everything you own, nothing is forgotten in the dark at the back of a shelf. Plainly, you are not depriving yourself of anything. You are simply eating what you already bought before it dies. That is the whole of it, and that is why it works. Now what you need, and it is not a special thing to buy, but a way to arrange what you already have. First, the standing pantry. A small foundation of cheap staples that keep almost forever, so you are never empty and never desperate. Rice, which keeps for a very long time kept dry. Dried beans and lentils, dried noodles, a little dried seaweed. Miso paste, which keeps for months in the cold. Soy sauce, salt, a few tins of fish, onions and garlic, which keep for weeks. These few things, plainly, mean you always have the bones of a meal, so you stop buying expensive fresh things on a hope and watching them rot. Second, you need only your own eyes and a little order. Your refrigerator arranged so you can see everything in it, and the oldest things kept at the front. And third, you need the one habit that ties it together, which I will show you now. Now the habit itself, step by step, the way Yuki has done it every day for 60 years. Step 1. Before you ever write a shopping list, look at what you already have. Open the refrigerator and truly look. Open the cupboard, see what is there, and especially see what is oldest, what is closest to turning. This 1 minute done before every shopping trip is the single most powerful step, because most waste begins with buying more of what you already own and have forgotten. Step 2. Plan the next few days around what must be used first, not around what you feel like inventing. Is there a tired half cabbage, some aging carrots, a wilting bunch of greens? Then those are the heart of tomorrow's meal. Whether you planned it or not, you cook to rescue what is dying first. This is the reverse of how most people think, and it is the whole secret. Step 3. Shop small and shop true. Buy the few fresh things you will genuinely use in the next days and lean on your standing pantry for the rest. Do not fill a large cart with a week of hopeful perishables. A smaller, truer basket, bought a little more often, wastes far less than a great weekly haul that dies by Friday. Step 4. When you put the food away, put the newest things at the back and bring the older things to the front. Cooks call this rotating your stock, and it is the quiet engine of the whole habit. What is oldest is always in front of your eyes and your hand, so it is always the thing you reach for and use next. Nothing is allowed to drift to the back and be forgotten. Step 5. Keep a use-it-first place. One shelf, one bowl, one corner of the counter, where the things closest to turning are gathered where you cannot miss them. The bruised apple, the soft tomato, the last of the herbs. When they are all in one visible place, they get used, instead of dying scattered and forgotten across the kitchen. Let me place one quiet thing here. In our home, Yuki keeps a small notebook by the kitchen, where she writes what we have put by and roughly when. The miso opened this month, the vegetables bought this week. It is a humble habit, and it means nothing is ever lost to the dark at the back of a shelf. Keep your own small record. It will save you more than you would believe. Now the honest scope, for I will always tell you the plain truth. This habit is safe and good, but let me be clear about the one place where thrift must bow to safety, and never the other way around. Using the oldest first and wasting nothing does not mean eating what has truly spoiled. It does not. There is a real and important difference between food that is merely old or bruised or a little tired, which is perfectly good and is exactly what this habit rescues, and food that has genuinely gone bad, which must be thrown away without hesitation. A wilted green, a soft tomato, a bruised apple, day-old rice kept cold, a carrot gone bendy, these are good food, and using them is the whole point. But meat or fish that smells sour or turns slick and gray, dairy gone off, canned food from a swollen or leaking tin, anything growing fuzzy mold, cooked rice or food left for hours at room temperature, these are not thrift, they are danger, and Matenai never ever asks you to risk your health to save a few cents. When you are in real doubt, and it truly smells or looks wrong, throw it out. A spoiled thing is a lesson, not a meal. The habit saves the tired. It does not gamble with the rotten. Hold that line firmly, and you are safe. Now Matenai, the deeper heart of it, for this habit is Matenai made into a daily practice, and its whole spirit is that almost nothing is truly waste if you have the eyes to see it. The vegetable scraps and peels and ends need not be thrown away. Gathered and simmered, they make a broth that becomes tomorrow's soup, so even the trimmings feed you. The tired vegetables too far gone to serve fresh are perfect, softened into a soup, a stew, a fried rice, where a little softness matters not at all. Yesterday's cooked rice becomes today's fried rice, or a warm bowl of porridge. The last lonely scraps of many things, the single carrot, the half onion, the handful of greens, the last of the meat, come together beautifully in one pot of soup or one pan of fried rice, where nothing needs to match and everything is welcome, and the standing pantry means the leftovers of one meal quietly become the start of the next. This is not going without. This is eating well, fully, and warmly from what you already own. while your neighbors throw a third of theirs away. That is Matanai, standing at the everyday kitchen, turning what would have been trash back into supper. Now the honest math. Plainly, for this is where you see the true size of the thing. An ordinary household wastes close to a third of the food it buys. That is the honest, well-measured figure, and your own trash can will confirm it if you watch it for a week. So on a $160 weekly shop, something near $50 is thrown away uneaten. Close that leak alone, and you have saved roughly $50 a week, $200 a month, over $2,500 in a year, without eating one bite less. And the habit saves more still. Quietly on top of that, because you lean on the cheap standing pantry, you buy fewer costly convenience foods. Because you shop your own kitchen first, you buy fewer duplicates. Because you cook from what you have, you order in far less. Put it all together, and it is entirely real and entirely ordinary for a careful kitchen to spend half what a wasteful one spends and eat every bit as well, not through some secret, through the simple daily refusal to throw food away. So here is what I ask you to do this week, and it is only one small thing to begin. Before your next shopping trip, stop and open your refrigerator and truly look at what is already there. Find the three things closest to turning: the tired greens, the soft tomato, the aging half of something, and put them together in one visible place at the front. Then build your next day or two of meals around using those three things first. Before you buy anything new at all, do only that this 1 week and watch how much less goes into your trash and how much smaller your next basket needs to be. And tell me something in the comments, for I would truly like to know. When you were young, how did your mother or your grandmother keep a kitchen so that nothing was wasted? Was there a habit in your family, a soup that used everything, a way of shopping, a rule about leftovers that stretched the money and fed everyone well? What was it? Those old ways of running a household on little are exactly the kind of wisdom that vanishes when no one writes it down. Share yours. I read every single one. Next time, since today we learned the habit that stops the waste, I will show you how Yuki takes the vegetable scraps and peels most people throw away, the very ends and trimmings, and turns them into a rich, free broth that becomes a whole pot of soup. The same care, the same waste-nothing heart. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Until then, remember the whole of it in one breath. Look first at what you already have. Use the oldest thing first. Let nothing sit forgotten until it dies, and the grocery bill you thought was fixed and rising quietly falls by half.